All right, remember we just we just took a walk around, right?
Yeah.
You're out of breath, you're still out of breath. Even with a mask on, you're still out of breath, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
See if you can walk her back.
Which way?
Just so I'm not getting barked at, that's all. There we go. Now you can come back. That's good. Need a little separation, a little interruption. Sure, I bet. Come right up here. Before, when you guys first got here,
Sorry.
you were pulling and somebody told you to say no. Except when you pull on that harness, it says yes. Okay? Because it's load bearing across the chest. Because every time you pull, what happens?
Okay.
She returns that
Pull.
aggression.
Well, wants to pull the opposite way, right? So you're actually propelling them forward by pulling backwards. All right? It's sending the wrong message. It is load bearing and they should pull on it. And we use harnesses, not for this. We use harnesses when we want them to pull.
Yeah.
Okay? No sled dog ever is on a prong collar or a harness, right? And so dogs in the park barking and lunging at other dogs should not be on a harness because that's what it's creating.
Come here.
Okay?
Sit down.
All right.
Sit down.
So which one of you was the most apprehensive? Because we talked a month or two ago and your complete demeanor about training absolutely changed when I said 100% of our clients are on prong collars. Do you remember?
Well, I spoke with Dr. Anderson,
Yep.
so I was the one, and he said we're cool. So
Yeah.
We had a bad experience with that.
I told him.
We had a dog that had laryngeal and
Paralysis.
and she associates that with that, even though he was really never on a prong.
Okay. It certainly was not from a prong collar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because if you look at it, these are spaced about every 1.5 inches apart. Okay. Different ones are made different ways, but they're spaced out a certain way. Get a feel for it. It's not sharp.
Yeah, we had this for
Jetta.
our Rottweiler.
Okay. Did you have that particular brand?
No.
No. It was
All right.
It was prongs all the way
Do you want to say hello to him?
yeah, it didn't have the.
I'm not going to greet like that
Okay.
because that's
Yeah,
the
too
wrong
excited.
energy, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we got to get the right size. That's probably too big,
Oh, yeah.
even at 8 months. And it needs to sit really high.
Okay.
The lower it falls down, the more muscle is down here.
Okay.
This is actually to get those really small pressure points,
Oh.
not all that muscle, because then it's still load bearing down there.
Oh.
Not like a harness, but it's still load bearing. So
Sure.
let's
It's gotta
take
be
one
up
or
by
two
her
out.
ears.
Right, and she may grow into some more links, and you just add them.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay. I think once the chain draws up.
You want it nice and loose until you want to give punishment.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about this. In the lesson plan, you guys have an opportunity to read it when you get home. We use the word punishment. It's not a secret. I'm not trying to make you feel good about
Bad behavior.
stopping bad behavior.
Yeah.
Punishment is a scientific term. It is. It's in there just like positive reinforcement. All right? There's positive punishment. The problem with using the positive punishment you were using is yanking and pulling on the harness. And let's be honest, that's pretty violent.
Yeah.
Yanking and pulling that thing,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
we'll go
takes a
back
lot
and
of
watch the
strength.
video. It's violent. Okay, we'll go this way. I'm actually surprised that, I mean, you're a big guy, but I'm surprised that someone that was opposed to a prong collar
That was
is
me.
yanking the leash as hard as y'all are yanking the leash.
I was the one that was opposed to it.
Okay, well, but being opposed to something that is going to get
Yeah, you
send a
can't
clear
yank that
message,
hard.
right? Yanking the leash with the harness is saying yes, go get them, and it's energizing and propelling forward. All right. So we want to change that. We want to say no to forging ahead and pulling on the leash, and when they stop, it's yes. We want to change your leash so that you can get a little more control. I noticed one time that you were shaking it off because it had run through your hands.
Oh, she messed up my thumb a couple weeks back because of this thing.
Right.
It's like a rope burn waiting to happen.
Right. She's very prey driven now,
Oh, very.
Oh yeah.
and
Always
it is the chase.
Yeah.
There's no aggression there, but no one's really ever told her no.
Well, she gets
Not
yelled at.
successful.
But yeah.
That's correct, yes. And
Yeah.
that harness is saying yes times 100.
Yeah.
Okay?
Kind of winding her up.
Absolutely. It's like winding a race car backwards. and then letting go of it when it's all spun up and it flies across the floor, right?
Yeah.
So we want to change that. We want her to get to the end of the leash gently, not running all the way to the end of 6 feet, and then the prong collar engaging like that.
Oh.
Okay? Because then your emotions are going to get involved. You're going to say, that's why I didn't want a prong collar. Okay?
I'm
So
not
it's
going
my
back.
job.
I'm in this 100%.
It's my job to introduce it correctly.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Already, what is this doing?
Stopping her from pulling.
Yeah.
Going into leash pressure with a prong collar. I mean, I'm only 3 feet away. But suddenly there's a consequence to pulling. She just turned it off herself. She went into leash pressure. Watch. She comes back to me and it turns off. Why? Because being at the extension turns it on. Coming back and making this loose turns it off. All right? By the end of this lesson, you'll be walking her with fingertips.
You're going to make me cry.
Okay? All of that pulling on that harness, as violent as it is, you and I are both gray. You're going to hurt yourself. Pulling like that. And you may hurt her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to use the right equipment. Okay? So you'll watch her go into some leash pressure. I say the word no. It's going to engage. Her intensity rushing forward is going to make it snap a little bit quicker and with more pressure, right? So right here, it wouldn't be fair for me to let her run out the full length of the leash.
Right.
We saw what she was doing 2 minutes ago,
Yeah.
right? So this little bit right here, she just turned it off. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Into leash pressure. How do I make this stop? It's uncomfortable. I will back up and I will sit down and it stops. All right? Nope. Nope. You want to use distance when this engages. So the last thing you want to do is be over top of her, yanking and pulling and pulling and pulling. Certainly not like you were pulling on the harness. And I know that one tool is more effective than the other, but you understand you're providing a sensation that's uncomfortable. That's punishment. It's positive punishment. It's designed to stop behavior. That's it. Okay?
Amazing what you can do with the right.
If I let her rush the end of the leash, right?
That would be
It's 6 feet plus the length of my arm. She can build up some speed.
Yeah.
I need to be able to control it. So this is my brake right here, okay? So I don't let it go but so fast. But this is fair to introduce it like this. We're close. There's nothing going on. But later when you walk and a dog passes, what's she going to do? Right. So we're introducing it slow right now. All right. With that said, what if she opposes? If she opposes and she says, I don't like this, right?
Okay.
Nope. Okay, you saw pretty gentle, but she was a little more excited, right?
Right.
All right, so I said no, that just a split second before the collar said no for me. Understand? All right. Did she stop barking? Yeah. I use movement drills. I get her body moving, and it makes her mind think about something else. She'll stay still and she'll bark and bark and bark and bark. Nope. She got to the end of the leash, and I held it just like this. All right? Her intensity was matched. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Well, we can't have that. We can't have all that barking, right? There's someone in a wheelchair.
Yes, that's correct.
It's disruptive. Okay? Nope. So we're teaching no pretty gently. In comparison's sake, right? Do you remember you used all your force?
Oh, yeah.
And it made it worse, actually. Okay? Change
All right.
direction. You'll hear me say change direction about 500 times over training. All right? When you get behavior you don't like, you want to change direction. Change in direction says no, and you're also applying leash skills and remote collar and prong collar, but people call us a stop stuff, right? What'd you get a hold of? Nope. What'd I do there? I pulled the collar up. I said, no, don't eat pine cones. It's not really going to hurt her, but it's not what we're teaching right now, okay? No. No. Nope. Okay? We don't know where the pine cone's been. I just don't want you eating it. But she went after it to chase. I taut leash when she went to chase it, and she stopped. Now I can be nice and loose. So if you look at her, she's already figured out being close to me makes this stop. All right? All right. Those dogs that are walking, they're going to continue walking. I mean, they're out with their owners. Her bark and her huff and puff cannot scare off the other dog. Whether they look scared or not, when they keep going and she keeps barking at them, in her mind, she has scared them away. All right? Her behavior must change. Do you understand? All right, so something else consider. Mailman comes, UPS, FedEx. They ring the doorbell, they drop a package, she's barking and carrying on. Well, where are the delivery people going after they drop the package? Away, they're leaving. Well, she doesn't understand that her bark didn't create that. They just have other stuff to do. But when they walk up there and she barks, she thinks she scared them away. Every time that happens without a consequence to stop it, she's emboldened by it. Worse than that, you put a harness on her and you pull on the harness while she's barking, and you've turned a defensive, maybe prey-driven dog into aggressive. And the owners do it. And the owners do it by accident with the wrong equipment, okay?